Hello and a very good morning, viewers. It's 6 a.m. and you're watching Republic TV. I'm Deepak Suresh Kumar, and in today's segment of Quick Morning, where we delve into the latest news and updates from around the country as well as around the world to set the tone to your day, from tracking the stampede in the national capital to the prisoner and hostage exchange between Hamas and Israel, we get you a roundup of all the top stories that you need to know. At least 15 people lost their lives and 11 were injured after a stampede occurred at the New Delhi railway station last evening. Eyewitnesses, while recalling the horror, claimed that the stampede occurred due to the mix of announcements over train arrival, while some claimed that the absence of RPF led to the huge chaos. But within minutes of the tragedy, police, ambulances and NDRF teams arrive at the scene, launching rescue and relief operations. As families mourn their loved ones and survivors recover from their injuries, the incident raises serious concerns about crowd management at railway stations.
कितने बजे का आसपास ये
9 बजे
भीड़ भड़का कितना था?
एक्सपायर हो गए।
आपके मदर एक्सपायर हो गए। कितने टाइम तक एम्बुलेंस आई वहाँ रेलवे स्टेशन से आपके?
पौने घंटा बाद।
पौना घंटा?
पौने 1 घंटा।
क्या मंजर क्या था वहाँ पर जब आप रेलवे स्टेशन पर?
क्या बताए, बस वैसे ही भगदड़ थी।
कौन से
लोग एक दूसरे का हेल्प भी नहीं कर पा रहे थे, ना वहाँ पुलिस थी, ना कोई हेल्प नहीं कर पा रहा था।
A third flight carrying 157 Indian deportees from the United States is set to land at the Amritsar airport today. The move by the US government marks the continuation of its crackdown on illegal immigrants, and the plane is scheduled to arrive from the US with the majority of the deportees hailing from Punjab, Haryana and Gujarat. This follows the landing of the second flight last night, which brought 120 deportees back to India who hailed from Punjab and Haryana, with a few from other states like Gujarat, Uttar Pradesh, Goa and Maharashtra. The first deportation flight carrying 104 Indian migrants landed in Amritsar on February 5th.
लेकिन ये दुख और दुर्भाग्य की बात है कि जिस प्रकार से जो है अमेरिका के द्वारा इस प्रकार से भारतीयों के साथ जो व्यवहार किया जा रहा है वो जो अच्छा नहीं लग रहा है। मैं निंदा नहीं कर रहा हूँ, पर अच्छा नहीं लग रहा है। और मेरे ख्याल में प्रधानमंत्री जी स्वयं अमेरिका में हैं और इस विषय को बड़ी गंभीरता के साथ उनके साथ उन्होंने टेकअप भी किया है। और मैं ये चाहता हूँ कि देशों के अंदर सौहार्द बना रहे, और उसके लिए ज़रूरी है हमें एक दूसरे की इज्जत करना ज़रूरी है। चाहे अगर कोई कहीं नियमों का उल्लंघन हुआ है तो उसको बैठ के सेटल किया जा सकता है।
Stepping up his attack on the allegations about ISI links of Elizabeth Gogoi, Assam Chief Minister Himanta Biswa Sarma said that there is a definite information that she visited Pakistan even after her marriage, and a decision to form an SIT would be taken at the meeting of the state cabinet today. He said that a regular case should be filed to investigate Elizabeth's passport and visa as well. While calling for a detailed investigation, Assam Chief Minister said that the entire ecosystem, including sympathizers, needs to be investigated.
We have definite information that Srimati Elizabeth Gogoi has visited Pakistan even after her marriage. Whether she visited along with the MP or single, those things has to be ascertained. Various deep information are coming up. Tomorrow, Assam government, Assam cabinet is going to have its meeting. Probably in that meeting, we are going to take a decision of creating a SIT.
Union Minister Ramdas Athavale and other BJP leaders welcome Maharashtra Chief Minister Devendra Fadnavis' decision to form a committee to address the issue of quote-unquote love jihad. While looking at increasing cases of forced conversions, Athavale said that the law against love jihad was very much needed.
ये लव जिहाद क्या है? इनको जिहाद का मतलब ही मालूम है क्या? बस रट्टा लगाए रहते हैं लव जिहाद के नाम पे इतने दिनों से बस मुसलमानों को बदनाम करने के लिए कर रहे हैं। लव है, जिहाद है। क्या हमारे देश में कभी इंटरकास्ट मैरिजेस नहीं हुए ना? कितने भाजपा के मंत्रियों ने नॉन मुस्लिम लड़कियों से शादी किया है? कितने सुपरस्टारों ने नॉन मुस्लिम लड़कियों से शादी कर लिया है? तो क्या सबने लव जिहाद कर दिया?
On the eve of Bihar Chief Minister Nitish Kumar's scheduled visit to Delhi, Union Minister Jayant Singh Chaudhary confirmed that the NDA would contest the upcoming Bihar Assembly elections under Nitish Kumar's leadership. Chaudhary added that the central government had allocated sufficient funds to aid this development. He also stated that the JDU president had confirmed his continued alliance with the National Democratic Alliance.
मुख्यमंत्री जी बिहार के विकास को लेकर निरंतर चिंतित भी रहते हैं, प्रयास भी करते हैं। संस्थागत विस्तार पे भी हमने चर्चा की, जैसे कि पटना में एक NSTI है जो महिलाओं के लिए आरक्षित है, तो उसमें कैसे विस्तार होगा। तो इस तरह की अनेकों बात हुई और नीतीश जी से जब मिलो तो बिहार के संबंध में ही वो अपनी कोई सुझाव और बात रखते हैं।
Delhi BJP President Virendra Sachdeva said that Delhi will soon have a triple-engine government after 3 municipal councillors from Aam Aadmi Party officially joined BJP. Welcoming their arrival on board, he said that under the leadership of Prime Minister Narendra Modi, the country had been progressing rapidly and now it was Delhi's turn to head in the route of development. Police in Jammu and Kashmir's Hindwara conducted stringent checks across various bookshops to prevent the circulation of banned literature linked to Jamaat-e-Islami. The checking was conducted as per the provisions of the law with special emphasis on sensitive areas such as Kralgund, Wilgam, Kalambad and also Hindwara town. And during the intensive search operation, several bookshops were inspected and multiple copies of banned books were recovered and subsequently they were seized. Now, these books were found to be in violation of legal regulations and also strict action is being taken against those found in possession of such material. The operation was aimed at curbing the spread of unlawful content that could disturb public order. In a decisive action against illegal meat shops, the AIMAL management branch of Municipal Corporation Heritage seized 7 unauthorized meat shops in Jaipur's Moti Dungri area. The crackdown led to a heated confrontation with locals misbehaving and obstructing officials in their way. A case has now been registered at Lal Koti police station regarding the incident. The inspection team found multiple meat shops operating without valid licenses and selling meat in the open. In response, the vigilance branch was called in for assistance and 7 illegal shops were sealed down. Now let's tell you about what's happening in the world of business. Let's quickly dive into the top stories that we are tracking. Lok Sabha Speaker Om Birla announced that a select committee comprising 31 members of the lower house has been made to examine the income tax bill. The committee will be headed by BJP's Jayant Panda and also the panel is supposed to submit its report by the first day of the next session. Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman, while introducing the bill in the Lok Sabha, had urged Om Birla to refer the draft law to the said select committee of 31 members, and the provisions of the bill will be thoroughly reviewed by the committee before it is presented in the Parliament for any further discussion or approval. With the objective of enhancing global internet connectivity, Meta Platforms announced that it will be spending $10 billion for setting up a subsea fiber optic cable that spans over 50,000 kilometers. This announcement came close on the heels of Prime Minister Narendra Modi's 2-day trip to the United States to meet US President Donald Trump and other eminent leaders, and both the world leaders have welcomed Meta's announcement supporting greater Indian Ocean connectivity, and the cable will form a W-shaped pattern extending from east coast of the US to India via South Africa and then from India to the west coast of the US via Australia. Meta claims that by directly linking key global regions, it intends to streamline service delivery and also meet the rising demand for fast, secure data transfer across the platforms. Rekha Jhunjhunwala, wife of legendary investor Rakesh Jhunjhunwala, has emerged as a dominant force in India's financial landscape, inheriting a formidable stock portfolio, including significant holdings in Titan Company Limited. Her financial moves continue to make waves in the market. But beyond her stock market presence, Jhunjhunwala's real estate investments reflect her taste for exclusivity. She recently made headlines with a high-value purchase to secure an unobstructed Arabian Sea view from her mansion. Her net worth currently stands at $7.5 billion as of 2025, making her one of India's most influential investors. The Securities and Exchange Board of India has rolled out new rules aimed at enhancing transparency in related party transactions. Under these new guidelines, listed entities will be required to provide more detailed information about their audit committees as well as their shareholders when seeking approval for such transactions. The industry standards for minimum disclosure requirements were formulated by the industry by the Standards Forum, which includes representatives from major industry bodies such as ASSOCHAM, CII and FICCI. These standards were developed in consultation with SEBI and will be implemented under the supervision of stock exchanges. The new disclosure requirements will come into effect starting April 1st. In a strategic expansion move, Reliance Industries Limited has acquired Lakadia B Power Transmission Limited for 6.73 crore rupees, marking its entry into the power transmission infrastructure domain. Lakadia B Power Transmission Limited specializes in the development and operation of power transmission infrastructure, further enhancing Reliance's robust portfolio. This acquisition underscores Reliance's commitment to bolstering its presence in the energy sector. Moving on, let's now take you to what's happening across the world, because yesterday it was an important moment in history between Israel and Hamas, because as Hamas inched closer to the 12 p.m. deadline set by Donald Trump, it panicked and it released the hostages. Here's a quick check on all the top international stories we're tracking. Hamas released 3 hostages from its captivity and handed over to the Red Cross in the southern city of Khan Yunis in Gaza. The handover to the Red Cross is part of a ceasefire deal that requires Israel to release Palestinian prisoners in exchange for the hostages. Israel has released 369 Palestinian prisoners so far and detainees, including 36 serving life sentences over deadly attacks. The hostage exchange comes after Hamas had earlier halted the hostage deal and had asked Israel for necessary equipments like medical supplies and housing for Gazans. Chernobyl nuclear plant in Ukraine was hit by an armed drone, which damaged the outer shell of the plant, punching a hole in the structure. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky blamed Russia for the attack, but Kremlin denied any responsibility of this drone strike. This comes after 2 days of President Donald Trump appending US policy on Ukraine, saying that he would meet with Russian President Vladimir Putin to discuss ending the war. President Donald Trump toured a Boeing airplane to check out new hardware and technology features and highlighted the aircraft maker's delay in delivering updated versions of the Air Force One presidential aircraft. There are 2 Air Force One planes designed for the president, which are more than 30 years old. Boeing Inc. has now the contract to produce updated versions, but deliveries have been delayed as the aircraft maker faces losses mounting to billions of dollars on the project. Delivery initially was set for 2024, but has been pushed to sometime in 2027 for the first plane and 2028 for the second. 5 people were stabbed in southern Austria in what police said was a random attack that left a 14-year-old dead and 4 others injured. 2 were seriously injured and 2 others sustained minor injuries. After a suspect was detained, police continued to determine the motive behind this particular attack. It was also not known whether there is any connection between the suspect and the victims. Police said it wasn't clear whether the suspect acted on his own and continued to search for potential additional suspects in the case. Protesters held a weekly demonstration in Tel Aviv demanding the immediate release of the remaining hostages held by Hamas in Gaza. This comes a day after Israel and Hamas completed the 6th exchange of hostages for hundreds of Palestinian prisoners. Israelis expressed some relief as the 3 hostages appeared to be in better condition than the emaciated hostages freed a week ago. Many worry that the deal could collapse before all the hostages return or that the number of captives who have died is higher than expected. US Secretary of State Marco Rubio arrived in Tel Aviv as he began his diplomatic visit to the Middle East. The visit comes after President Donald Trump had called for permanently resettling Palestinians from war-torn Gaza in order to restore the territory. Syria's interim foreign minister vowed that the country's future government will be inclusive of Syria's different communities and uphold the nation's diversity. He said that the main challenge for the government is that the Syrian people feel that they are represented in this Syrian government, and the future government is built on the competence on serving the people and on Syrian identity. Now, as Syria begins recovering from 50 years of autocratic rule by the Assad family, it's very, very unclear what future steps will be taken in March when the new government will be formed.
We believe in all the Syrian people, and we are Syrian people. And what I mean by this inclusive government, our challenge is that the Syrian people should feel that they are represented in this Syrian government. And Syrian government will be built on the competence, on the serving the people, on the Syrian identity.
Poland's foreign minister said that the US's credibility is at stake in how the Ukraine war ends. His comments came after former President Joe Biden had declared on behalf of the US that it would support Ukraine until independent. Sikorski also warned that allowing Russia to subordinate Ukraine would send a green light to China that it could do the same with Taiwan.
I would tell him three things. Number one, Joe Biden was your successor and predecessor, but he planted the flag of the United States in downtown Kiev and declared on behalf of the United States that the US will be with Ukraine for as long as it takes until Ukraine secures its independence. Therefore, the credibility of the United States depends on how this war ends.
Welcome back, viewers. It's time to dive into the world of sports with our segment dedicated to all the action-packed highlights and exciting matchups. Today, we bring you the latest updates from chess, where D. Gukesh lost to Ali Reza Firozia in the second game of their 7th-placed playoff match at the Freestyle Grand Slam. Stay tuned as we unravel the story and keep listening to all the buzz right here on Sports segment. Team India's squad members arrive at Mumbai International Airport, including Captain Rohit Sharma, Virat Kohli and Gautam Gambhir, who are heading for the Champions Trophy to Dubai. Jaspal Rana, coach of double Olympic medalist Manu Bhaker, has returned to mainstream Indian shooting after being appointed as NRAI's high-performance coach for 25-meter pistol. World number 1 ranked tennis star Yannick Sinner has received a 3-month ban to settle the doping case. Sinner's suspension will run from February 9th to May 4th, and he could return to the French Open after that. D. Gukesh finished last after losing to Ali Reza Firozia in the second game of the 7th place playoff match at the Freestyle Chess Grand Slam. Now, the world champion concluded a forgettable campaign without a single win. England received a huge boost ahead of the Champions Trophy as Ben Duckett is declared fit. The opener underwent scans after sustaining a groin injury, and the results confirmed that it was not so serious after all. RCB lose out on Shreyanka Patil for the rest of the tournament after the off-break bowler was ruled out of WPL 2025 due to injury. The team have now signed Sneh Rana as her replacement. Unseeded Japanese duo Masamichi Imamura and Ryo Noguchi claimed the Delhi Open double titles with a 6-4, 6-3 win over second seeds Nikki Kalyanda and Ponacha and also Courtney John Locke. India began their Women's Pro League campaign with a thrilling 3-2 win against England at the Kalinga Hockey Stadium. Navneet Kaur smashed the winning goal with just 1 minute left in the game. Spain bounced back after their poor performance and took revenge for their loss against India in the bronze medal match at the Paris Olympics with a 3-1 finish over Harmanpreet Singh-led side. The Delhi Capitals won an exciting game in the WPL against Mumbai Indians at Vadodara's Kotambi Stadium. DC successfully chased down the target, resulting in an exciting last ball finish. Now, tracking all the buzz that's happening in the world of entertainment, here are the top stories that we have for you in this segment of Quick Morning. The Mickey 17 press tour continued in Berlin with the cast and crew presenting the sci-fi movie Out of Competition. In the tour, director of the film Bong Joon-ho was joined by Robert Pattinson, Toni Collette, Naomi Ackie and Steven Yeun. While in the tour, the director said that he had another role for Pattinson lined up. Mickey 17 will be released in the UK, Ireland and US on March 7th. Hollywood star Jessica Chastain called her New Mexico-US immigration film Dreams incredibly political because of what's happening right now in the United States. During the film's press conference at the Berlin Film Festival Saturday, Chastain seemingly referred to President Donald Trump's new policies on immigration. While looking at the relationship the United States and Mexico possess, she said that both the countries needed to learn to play fair.
Well, it's undeniably political because it really does delve into the relationship between America, the United States of America, and Mexico. Michel's work, I think the reason I respond to it is because he provokes and he delves into issues that a lot of filmmakers wouldn't want to explore. He doesn't say what's right and wrong, but what he does is he provokes thought and discussion. I think it's incredibly political also because of what's happening right now in the United States, but not just the United States, all over the world.
Jacob Elordi said losing weight for his role as a medical officer in a Japanese prisoner of war camp for World War II drama was a very calming experience. Elordi said that the camaraderie between the cast helped him get through the challenge. The love story spanning decades premieres this week at the Berlin Film Festival. The series marks Elordi's return to an Australian project after a period of absence. Well, that's all we could pack for you in this edition of Quick Morning. But stay tuned to Republic TV as we get you the latest on the other side of this quick break.